Hi everyone, it's James here. Welcome to another video. If you can hear the sound of a dog licking, it's because there's a dog over there licking herself. So hope you can deal with that. Just thought I'd do a quick video today, and it's just a little tribute really to Meatloaf, who apparently has passed away. And it occurred to me that I know hardly anything about Meatloaf. This record, Bat Out of Hell, obviously his crowning statement, came out in 1977. I've got a very particular memory of this record. My friend Jonathan Cropper came round to my house, probably would have been in about the summer of maybe 1978, something like that. Very excited. He had a cassette of Bat Out of Hell and he wanted to play it to me. I don't think I'd heard of it at the time. It didn't mean anything to me. Anyway, we sat and listened to it in my bedroom, and I think I quite liked it. It didn't knock me out, it didn't make a Meatloaf fan of me. And that was probably the last time that I'd heard it until this morning when I played it, having heard that he passed away. So we're talking maybe 40 years since I've heard this record. Now this copy was given to me not long ago, last year in fact, by a work colleague of mine called Phil. He's a bit of an old punk really, so not quite sure what he was doing with it. I guess he passed it on to me, which shows what he thought of it. But it's a pretty battered old copy. It's not in bad shape actually. It's on the Orange Epic label, and yeah, so I just sat down this morning and thought I would listen to it. I knew it was a Todd Rundgren production, obviously, and that's something that surprises me, the fact that I haven't really ever listened to this album properly, because I'm a bit of a Todd Rundgren fan, and this has certainly got a Todd Rundgren sound to it, a Todd Rundgren production. Lots of phase guitars, lots of orchestrated rock elements, quite a Phil Spector-y sound. And yeah, I was curious to hear it, and as I was listening to it, I was reading about Meatloaf's life, because it occurred to me that I knew virtually nothing about him. One of the reasons I think I've always avoided Meatloaf is that I guess I'd always viewed him as being a bit ersatz, you know, a bit kind of, I don't know, a bit showbiz. I've never liked musicals, never liked show tunes, anything like that, and I think I viewed Meatloaf as being kind of in that little niche. But reading about his life, quite an interesting story really, the idea that he felt himself that playing in a bar band had less authenticity or less honour than going onto the stage. You know, he tried to be a kind of bar band wannabe rock star, and he just didn't like it, so he auditioned and got to be, and I think it was Hair originally. Later on, of course, he was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, went down that theatrical route, met Jim Steinman, and the rest is history. But I guess that's probably why I never really became a fan of Meatloaf, this idea that, you know, he's the singer, but the songs are by Jim Steinman. It's got that kind of element of music show, music hall. Mine's gone blank. You know, like kind of Andrew Lloyd Webber, show tuney kind of world. But Meatloaf's name, I didn't even know his real name. Shocking, isn't it? Marvin Lee Aday. And yeah, pretty extraordinary career. Another reason why I never got into Meatloaf was his the Bat Out of Hell 2 record, which he made in the 90s. That big song, I Would Do Anything for Love. I really couldn't stand that. And it used to come on the jukebox in the pub that I used to drink in Leeds back in the 90s, the West End House. And of course it's about 7 or 8 minutes, and you know, when you don't like a song, it comes on and you're thinking, oh God, you know. I've never been a big fan of his voice. Anyway, I listened to the record, and yeah, I enjoyed the up-tempo material. Bat Out of Hell, you took the words right out of my mouth, Hot Summer Night. I'd forgotten how much I did actually like that song. All Revved Up with No Place to Go, it sounds a bit like a Rick Derringer kind of tune, very upbeat, very sort of happy, upbeat kind of rocking song. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, another good rocker on side 2. I've got to be honest, I can live without the ballads. On side 1 you've got Heaven Can Wait. Side 2 you've got 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, which is okay. And The Crying Out Loud is a bit of a weepy ballad. Not really a big fan of that really. Sort of sounded a bit like Elton John. I'm not a big fan of that kind of emotive delivery where singers really, you know, emote powerfully, and I guess that's always what I slightly felt about Meatloaf, this idea that he was emoting, but when you listen to it you wonder actually how much emotion is there and how much of it is just theatrics, I suppose. But having said all that, you know, I listened to it finally, first time in 40 years, and I enjoyed it enough to decide for myself I'm going to keep it in the collection, and I'm going to make a video about it, which I've just done. So hope you enjoyed it. That's my little tribute to Meatloaf. Rest in peace, and I'll see you soon. Bye.